Hey guys, believe it or not, this is the second time I've recorded this video. I've had some people ask me about how I did or made comment on the little hat mount that I use while I'm fishing. I thought I would do a real quick how-to video, show y'all how to do that or how I did it. I'm sure there are a lot of variations of this design. Obviously, I'm not the smartest son of a gun around. But the reason I done this was because I had a little clamp that clamped on the end of the bill of your hat there, and it got heavy. It would give me a headache. You know, after a couple of hours out there fishing, it was not good. So I started looking at this thing, trying to figure out how I could make that better. And what I come up with is that little camera mount there. And if I take this thing apart, I'm going to show y'all what this consists of, which is not much. Again, my name's not Albert Einstein. It's just James. And I'm sure there are 1,000 people out there already that have done this other than me. Because anybody that puts that little clamp on the end of their hat, God bless you. If you can fish for 4 hours out there with that thing on, tougher than I am. What am I looking for? One second. All right. Still ain't got this green screen 100% worked out. So, at any rate, I'm gonna pull that thing apart and 1/4-inch drill bit and put that hat down on something kind of half-ass flat and drill you a 1/4-inch hole in it right there. I recommend getting that hole as close to this part of the hat where your head is actually sitting. Get it as close to that as you can without it being too close for your mount. And there are a lot of different types of mounts. The one that I use came with an Akasa camera. That thread is right in the bottom of this mount, which made it, you know, pretty easy for me, because I put that bolt in there, that thread's down on top of it, end of story. If you've got a GoPro, it is a little different, because the GoPro has something like that on the bottom of it, but it's not that much different. I have got a little GoPro mount here that was sitting in front of me 2 seconds ago, but apparently it ain't sitting in front of me now. What the hell did I do with it? I'm gonna edit all this out just so you know. Alright, here it is. So the GoPro, again, you know, I think this is the waterproof case. I've got another one that I bought off of Amazon because it was light, and light is a good thing. This one got the same little loops on the bottom of it for your camera, but there ain't no threads on the bottom of either one of those. So what you have to do You get on Amazon, you can buy one of these. Comes in a kit, and you could probably buy it just this little or something similar to it. And I don't have to tell y'all how to use a GoPro clamp. That goes on there, and you've got a little thumb screw that once you get all them holes lined up like they supposed to be, this ain't going well. Get all them holes lined up like they're supposed to be, then you tighten that little thumb wheel up, and it tightens up, you know, this part right here would mount on top of that bolt right there, and you would end up with the same exact setup that I've got. And it is much lighter, much more convenient. I know GoPro changes their little body style of their cameras. You know, every time they release one, they change it a little bit. Not sure why they do that, but they do it. This Akasa mount, which I've got an Akasa, it's an EK 7000, and for the first, you know, probably 20 videos I did, maybe more than that, this is what I used. It does a good job. The only thing I don't like about this camera, when that battery goes dead, it doesn't beep, it doesn't let you know it's dead, it just goes off, which is a bad thing because I have missed a lot of fish because this thing didn't beep and tell me the battery was gone. So all that being said, this Akasa, this mount right here, that camera slides in. It's a little spring loaded deal there, keeps it from coming back out. I found out after I got this GoPro 4 that it will also slide right in there. It doesn't fit quite as tight, but it won't come out. And you know, it's not wobbling around in there. It's tight enough to hold it. This little mount right here, if anybody wants the dimensions off of it, I mean, you could probably get them off Amazon, but you want me to measure it for you, I'll measure it for you to see if your camera will fit in there, because I'm telling you, this is the lightest, most convenient mount that I've seen. So getting back to the hat. So I put my hole about a 1/2 inch from that point where it sits on your head to the center line of that hole. That's about a 1/2 inch. Again, if you're going to use this mount, you're going to need a little more than a 1/2 inch because it's further. Put that hat down. Because the center line of this hole and the edge of that flange is more than a 1/2 inch. Damn. So it's not going to sit. It's going to sit more like that. You don't want that. You will never get your hat on. So wherever your mount hole is, that's where you need to drill that hole, but try to keep it as far back on that bill as you can, because it's going to be a hell of a lot easier on your neck. It's going to be a lot lighter because it's not hanging out there on the end of that bill. A lot better. When you go get a 1/4-20 button head screw, put the head of that screw on the bottom, run the stud up to the top, get you a 1/4-20 nut. 1/4-20 is a thread size for those of you that don't know. That is a thread size. I've been a machinist since I was 18 years old. Sometimes I say things that I just assume other people know. Sometimes they don't. So I recommend, as you can see, the one I've got here is rusted. It's been on this hat for about 4 or 5 months. And I recommend you get stainless steel. I know Home Depot I know Lowe's, any hardware store, you can get a 1/4 20 button head stainless steel bolt and nut. And if you get it in stainless, you'll never have to mess with it again. This one I'm gonna have to replace when I drill another hat. I may drill a hole in this one I got on my head, I don't know yet, but at any rate, put that bolt in from the bottom, put that nut right there, and then get you a screwdriver. Tighten it up, tighten the nut up. You probably won't need a pair of pliers because that bill is soft enough that it's going to kind of hold that nut for you. If you need to put a pair of pliers on that nut, put you a pair of pliers on it, vice grips, whatever you want. Mine is short. I didn't let it stick up very far. It's longer than the first one I put on. I'll tell you why. Because when I first mounted my camera, when I first did this little design, because the camera sits so far back on the bill, I was picking up the end of the bill in all my videos. So I put a little bit longer stud in there, and then I made this little thumb wheel, and I put it on there so I could raise that camera up to the level that it needed to be, so you wouldn't see that bill in the camera, I mean in the video. So that's kind of what this thing looks like. That thumb wheel there, thumb nut, once you get that camera in position, you run that thumb nut up to the bottom of the bottom of the mount, snug it up, and it ain't going nowhere. Put your camera in there and you are good to go. This little setup right here, this mount camera setup, again, the GoPro 4 will fit in here. I'm not sure what others will, but when you get ready to change your batteries out, the only thing you got to do is pull that up, pull that camera out, put your battery in, snap it back in there, and it's ready to go. It gets a little more complicated if you don't have this type of mount. I've got a couple of GoPro mounts that I bought, don't use them. One is this style right here. The back of this thing opens up. Take the camera out, change the battery, put it all back together. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass. And this is much heavier than the one I showed you. Then I bought this one, which is a much lighter mount, same style for that GoPro, but it's a pain in the butt to get in and out of this little holder here, because you got to stretch it, put it around the camera, mount it like that. But when you get ready to change that battery, guess what you got to do? You got to take it off the hat, mount and all, take that camera out of the thing, change the battery out, put it all back together, put it back on the hat. Kind of a pain in the butt. This little thing right here, I recommend y'all get one. Make sure that your camera will fit in it before you do, but I don't think you ever gonna beat that right there, man. That's it. That's all you got to do. Pull it up, pull that camera out, and you're good to go. So anyway, like I said, I've had a couple of people ask me about that little setup, and now you know what I use. I hope y'all like this video. If you did like this video, then like this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring that bell. Do all those things. Help my channel out. I'm almost at 200 subscribers now. When I reach that 200 mark, I'm gonna do another giveaway. I think this time I'm gonna give away a Bass Pro gift card, so you can go pick out whatever you want to pick out instead of me going to buy lures and sending to you stuff that you might not use. You know, fishing down here in Louisiana is a lot different than fishing in Minnesota or fishing in New York or fishing in North Dakota. It's just a little different. Same fish. Well, sometimes it's different fish too, but I know a lot of you guys up there do walleye fishing. Never been walleye fishing in my life. Muskie, never been muskie fishing in my life. But Bass Pro Shops sells all the same lures for y'all that they sell for us, I guess. So I'm thinking the gift card would be the way to go. You can get whatever lure that you want. If you want to buy you some fishing line, you can buy a fishing line. If you want to use it towards the purchase of a rod and reel combo, that's all left up to you. So you're not limited in anything I might go pick out for you. All right, guys, that's about all. I'm gonna try to do a few of these how-to videos. I'm not real sure what else I know how to do, but I'll think of something. Until next time, y'all stay safe.